Hey guys, welcome to Biology AP. My name is Miss Vance and I'm going to be your teacher this semester. I know that for some of you, this is going to be your very first AP class, so it's going to be a new experience. So today I'm just going to share with you a little bit about what our expectations are going to be in this class for you. So the short version of this, and this goes for everybody, you guys are going to be in whatever method of learning that you're in, whether you're here or at home. All this virtual stuff's going to be at least until Christmas. Remember Google Classroom. Remember to do your daily question for attendance purposes, or else you're going to be marked absent. Don't be rude. Don't cheat. Email me if you need help, and please turn your work in or you will fail. So if you get nothing else from this video, hopefully you get at least that much. So let's jump into some of the specifics of these things. So virtual learning. This is new to us as it is to you. So virtual learning for our purposes is just going to mean that it's learning that can be done anywhere from a computer. So you can be on your Chromebook, you can be on a laptop, you can be at school, you can be at home, you can be anywhere and still get the same lessons. So all of these lessons are going to be pre-recorded. This means that you're not going to be expected to be in a live Zoom call with all of your teachers every single day, because that'd be way too much, believe me. So you're going to be contacting us instead through things like Remind or Zoom or Google Meet or chat or whatever. So some of you may never see me face to face. I may just be the funny little square in the upper right hand of your videos. But that's okay. We're still going to have a good year and we're going to learn a lot. So a typical day for our class, every single solitary day you need to log into Google Classroom. With our current schedule, that's going to be at the very least, very least, Monday through Thursday. Friday, there's always going to be something for you to do. I'm going to try to make that available for you on Thursday, just in case, so that you can work on it whenever you get time. So each day you're going to have an outline of what you're expected to do. There's probably going to be multiple parts. You might have a question of the day, and then there'll be a video like this one, and then you'll have something to do with that. So please make sure you are doing your daily questions, because that's the only way I really have to check attendance, especially for you folks that are going to be doing these lessons from home. So if there's a video, you need to watch it and pay attention. I mean, not for this video, obviously, but other videos, when we start getting into our units, you're going to need to take notes off of these videos. It's just the same as if I were giving a lesson in front of you, but instead I'm doing it in front of a camera and you're watching it from wherever you are. So you're going to need to pay attention. You're going to need to take notes. This isn't something that you can play Xbox Live and have me talking in the background. You're going to need to focus. Especially guys, since this is an AP class, I can't stress this enough. You're going to need to, after you've watched the video, complete all the work for the day. I'm not trying to give y'all a hard time or anything, but AP is going to be more work, so be prepared for that. And if you need extra time on the work, especially if you are on campus with us, there are going to be extra time slots available that if you need more time to work on your assignments, you'll have that. So if you need live help from me, 9:55 till 10:55 is our science time. So I will be at my computer with a Google Chat up every single day during that time. So if you're watching your lesson and you're beginning to panic, you feel free to let me know and I'll be able to respond to you in real time. So if you need help, which guys, you're in biology AP, you're going to need help, and that's expected and that's fine. So remember, there's that time slot where you can get in touch with me during our designated class time. If you need help outside of that window, if you're still at school, email or a Google Chat is still probably the best way to get a hold of me. I'm sure most of you know how to use Google Chat. We'll have a later video on how you do that. But basically, you just go to your email window and you can open a little chat box and talk to me that way. But if you are outside of school hours, let's say that you accidentally slept in and you're doing all of your work later in the afternoon, then email or Remind 101 is going to be the best way to get in touch with me. It is so important, guys. You have to communicate if you need help. AP Biology is probably going to be the most difficult class that you have been in up till this point. I'm not trying to scare anybody off. I'm not trying to make you upset, but this is a college level biology class. I'm going to do my best to explain everything as completely as possible in each video. So if there is something that you don't get, it is so important that you feel like you can email me. You have to let me know. I can't fix it if I don't know what you don't understand. And please don't send me emails saying, I don't get anything, Miss Vance. No. I need specifics, but I'm happy to help. So these are our class codes for this class. We have a Google Classroom that's dedicated to just AP, and then AP has its very own Remind. So make sure that you take note of that. Everyone should be invited into Google Classroom already. So if you aren't actively in it, check your email and accept the invitation to the classroom. Remind, you're going to have to get in yourself. So you can text this number to 81010, I believe is the phone number. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But that should get you signed up for notifications from Remind. You can also download the app and put that number in on the screen, and you can interact with me just like how you would with any other chat program. Okay, behavior during virtual learning. I am not as worried about this class as I am some of my others, but we still need to talk about what I expect out of you as far as behavior. Please be respectful and polite during chats and activities. There are going to come times where you're going to work with other members of your class, and I expect you to use the same courtesy that you would if I were standing there in the room with you. I don't need angry phone calls or emails that someone was being rude and nasty on the internet. We still have cyberbullying provisions in our handbook, so we will adhere to those. Don't be rude. Please stay on task and participate. You're going to be graded on work. These grades are going to count and they're going to follow you. Also, like we said, this is a more difficult class, so you're going to need to make sure that you are keeping up with the work. You have to participate, you have to do these things. It's all going to build, and if you just decide, I'm going to take a week off and do nothing, you're going to be incredibly lost. Please keep up. Please turn your work in on time. Like I said, these grades count, and they are encouraging us to hold you fast to these due dates. So make sure you're getting it done and turned in. That it's going to seem like a lot of work. There's going to be grades every single week. Make sure your work's turned in. I am totally fine if you guys need to give me some feedback. Like, Miss Vance, the way you explained that, it really didn't work for me. Is there another way you could do that? I'm totally fine. I'm open to that. Normally in an AP class, when I teach it, there's a lot of instant feedback. So if I'm not explaining it right, I can see your confused face and I can try another way. I can't do that here. So I totally welcome feedback. I totally welcome questions. Just please try to keep it polite. Believe it or not, I've got feelings too, okay? Make sure you're logging in every single school day, getting your work. I expect you to do this. Every single day, whether I am sick or not, there will be something on that Google Classroom for you to look at or do. So every single day you have to be on and doing that. So plagiarism and cheating. It's going to be tempting, especially since we're all distance learning for the most part. I mean, I think our last figure said there's only about 110 people signed up to actually come in person. So there's a lot of people going to be working from home, a lot of people on computers. It could be tempting to do these things. But for our purposes, cheating can be copying someone else's answer. It can be using an answer key from the internet, asking someone for help other than your teacher during an exam, using Google to answer test questions. That's not the full list of what cheating is, but these are some examples. Guys, you can't cheat. If I find out that you're cheating, it's going to be bad. And we'll get into the consequences of that in just a minute. but you need to do your own work. I'm not giving you work because I'm rude or because I don't like kids or I want to torture you. That's not what this work is about. This work is helping you build skills and learn so you can be ready for the AP test. That's my whole purpose of this class. These things I assign you have a purpose, and when you cheat on them and don't take them seriously, you're not getting that information and knowledge that you need. Another thing related to cheating is plagiarism, and this is when you take credit for someone's work that's not your own. There are going to be times, especially in AP, where you're going to need to write long form answers. We'll talk about it more when we talk about what's on the AP test, but you're going to be expected to basically write little science essays, and you can't just copy and paste from Google. I can't give you a grade for that. So that can be getting someone else to do your assignment for you, having them write it up in a Google Doc and then share it with you, and then you submit it under your own name. I know how to look for that, so please don't. And then copying from an assignment. Let me tell you, every single year I have trouble with this. If I can paste your stuff word for word into Google and find word for word what you did, then we're gonna have a bad time. Okay, plagiarism and cheating continues. This is our consequences. If I catch you cheating, so like before I said, if I can Google your answer and find it word for word off of Google, or I find that you used a study guide or an answer key on the internet, word for word, then I can't give you credit for that assignment. You will not get points, okay? Some of these consequences, if it's a first offense, it may be as simple as, hey, I can't take this. I need you to redo this assignment. And better believe I'll be checking extra hard on that redo for plagiarism. You might get a 0 for that assignment, especially if you're cheating on an exam, something high stakes. If you answered that word for word from a search engine, you're gonna get a 0. There might be parent contact, especially if number 2 happened and you got a 0, and there can also be school discipline. I don't want us to have to go anywhere near any of that, so please watch yourselves, and if you're using a source, cite it and change it to your own words. Turning in work. So usually there's going to be assignments posted on Google Classroom, and you can turn it in through there. If for some reason you are having a brain fart and you can't make that work, I will accept it through email, but it's a lot easier for me to keep track of if you use Google Classroom. Also, make sure you're on time. Like we said before, you're not going to get full credit if you turn in like work. Just be prepared. So tests. Tests are going to be a little bit different in AP. You probably aren't accustomed to writing as much as you're going to have to on an AP style unit exam. So don't expect your study guide to look just like your test. It's not going to happen. Just get that thought out of your head. A study guide is going to give you the content that you need to know, that background knowledge you need to know to be able to answer the test. I can't give you a word-for-word study guide for the AP test, so don't expect that for any of my classroom tests. It's going to measure what you can do with what you can know, with what you know, sorry. But this is going to be how your AP test is going to look. Just be ready. So you're going to have tests probably this semester using AP Classroom. So we're going to have a video later on how you're going to log in there, but there's going to be varying question types and formats. There might be essays. You're going to be able to see which multiple choice you got wrong usually. Just depends on the settings. If you think there was an error, please let me know because I can fix it. But you just got to communicate with me. So grading, if you're looking at the grading scale right now, you'll notice it's a little bit different than what you've had previously. So good news, AP classes are hard. Well, it's not good news. But the good news is because they're so hard, you get a 10-point grading scale. So that means you can make as low as a 90 and still have an A. So that's pretty huge. You have to make below a 60% to fail anything in AP. So that can be a real help. So hopefully that helps you panic just a little bit less. Your grading in this class is going to be daily check-ins. So those daily questions to make sure that you're logging in and doing your lessons, daily assignments, lab reports. Yes, there will be lab reports. They're going to be a little bit different, but we're going to have those and they will be for a grade. And then also your exams. So typically in an AP class, we curve the tests a special kind of way to mimic how grades are curved on your AP exam. So generally we do something called a square root curve. So that means I take the score that you made, I take the square root of it, and then I move the decimal point 1 over, and that's your new percentage. So the example I gave you, let's say you failed the test, but it was a hard test, so that's expected. But you made a 45, I take the square root of that and I get a 6.7, which means that you got a 67%, which if you look at your grading scale, that means you passed it. So that was very helpful to students last school year. So I'm hoping that it'll give it just a little modicum of comfort to y'all this semester as well. So most of all, just remember that you can do it. It's gonna be hard, but you can do hard things. I can do hard things, y'all can do hard things, and we're in this together. So just look at your comfort dogs at the end of the slide. Remember, you can do it. And I hope that we have a productive and fun school year. Take care, guys. I look forward to working with you. Bye-bye now.